Okay, so hopefully y'all can hear me. Currently there's nobody currently viewing this stream, but honestly that's okay. I've advertised it in certain places, but whether or not anybody actually watches it is a whole nother story. So, anyways, just make sure that this is actually working here. It's my first time live streaming in a while, so I just want to make sure that everything is working, and it is. Okay. So, I guess we'll start this then, and if anybody decides to hop on, or if anybody decides to watch, that'll be good. But anyways, welcome everyone to the first podcast live stream, so to speak, thing here for the Global Simulation Football League. I am the commissioner here, obviously just me speaking here on tonight's stream, and I want to say first off, apologize that the stream is so late. I hadn't had dinner yet, so I had to get that done, and I've also been starting to record, trying to get all the games for this weekend recorded, so that way they can go out on time. I got a very small chunk of them done today. I'll probably do some more after this stream, maybe one or two more. Hopefully the stream will probably not be very long, since it's already 9:30 Central. But yeah, so we'll try and go through things as quick as we can. There's not a whole lot, luckily for me, there's not a whole lot in this stream, because the league technically hasn't, week one hasn't started yet, so this is just kind of the it would have been like a preseason thing, but since we didn't have a preseason, just given the fact that the league is brand new, well, kind of brand new, I'll get more on that in a little bit, we'll just go with that. So anyways, but yeah, like I said, welcome. Obviously I'm assuming most of you are new, and that's all right. But I've already shared this in the Madden modded community Discord server. I've placed it in the franchise stories section, so anybody can more people can hopefully find it there, more than YouTube's algorithm is going to push this out, because I really doubt it's going to push it out, unless I share it in a bunch of places, because that's just how the internet works nowadays, which is fine. But yeah, so for tonight's agenda, okay, the screen is going to be the thumbnail is going to be off a little bit. I was intending on doing all those things, but based on what I have access to and what I did to prepare for this today, if we're not going to get to everything, that's okay. Like I said, this is the first one. We'll get it going. Excuse me, like I said, I just ate lunch long ago. We'll get it going later on. So, in future streams. And hopefully this will be the latest this will ever be. Ideally, I want to keep it around that 7:30, 8:30 mark Central. So 8:30, 9:30 Eastern time frame. Aiming for Wednesday night. Actually, originally I was going to do Tuesday nights, just to do something different. But I realize now Wednesday probably just makes the most sense. I don't know. I might consider it next week. Hopefully I'll have more time to get the games done prior to the weekend next week. So, but again, we'll just see. But yeah, so let's get right into this. I've already blabbed on for about 3 minutes or so, but that's all right. So yeah, so like I said, apologies for this being so late. Obviously, the thumbnail says 8:30 Eastern. That it is currently 10:30 Eastern. So a little bit not in the right time. Never mind. I'm blabbing on. So yeah, so welcome to the league once again. For those if you haven't read the description or whatever, this is a simulation-based American Football League that is I'm playing it via Madden NFL 22 or 22. Jeez, 24. I originally started it on 22 and then moved to 23, and now I'm on 24. I know Madden NFL 25 is on the horizon, but um, that being said, uh, this is a somewhat modded form of Madden 24, and this is on PC. So, which is how I'm able to do mods, or how I'm able to add mods to it, because I can't do that on a console. Um, but I know this is technically, I'll actually get this off right here. So this is technically the third season of this league, but the first as the GSFL, because the first two seasons was under the name NFL Relocated, and that was always a temporary name until I came up with something more creative, something more recognized, like, just more permanent. This is not that much more permanent, I realize. I probably could have dropped the S and probably just could have put Global Football League, because it's not a thing anywhere else. Or heck, even just brought back the World Football League and just made it different. Or maybe the Global American Football League, or just something along those lines. I've thought about that, but for now, we're going to go with GSFL. If it becomes too much of a handful, maybe future seasons, because they're supposedly adding features to the next Madden that might make this easier or not require mods. We might change the name again. I don't know. I want something to stick, be original, for as long as I do this. So, but yeah. Anyways, so that is this. So it's a CPU versus CPU, meaning that I'm not playing any of it. I'm watching it. Or basically, what I mean by that is you're watching it being simulated in the broadcast cam, which is the slow version of when you simulate a Madden game, for those of you that play the game. And yeah, so that's pretty much that. That's the basis of the league. It's thankfully, unlike past seasons, we are able to all be on one file now. The past couple seasons, in order to get every single, which now granted, here's the other thing too. This is modified from an actual NFL season. So, and by modified, I mean the schedule's shorter. I'm specifically made the schedule shorter, just so I can, get it done before I'm still, I'm still a college student. So before school gets ramped up a lot this fall, I'm hoping just to get it for the rest of summer, basically. So that's one reason. Another reason, just to be different, just to be not copying the NFL, or just like texturing it to make it something different. I mean, that's basically what it is in a way, um, but yeah. So that's what I mean by when I say customization. That's what I'm referring to, is that it's slightly modified version of an NFL league, or actual NFL league. But yeah. So anyways, that I don't know where. Yeah, I was talking about. That's what it is. That's the format. On one file, 32 teams, which I'm already partially regretting, because 32 teams is a lot, and you have to record up to 16 games a week. 14, and then however many live you do. So, or like 13. For me, I'm doing 13 at most. Pre-recorded, thankfully. So, but anyways, so that's my whole my whole thing to figure out. Excuse me, but yeah. So we'll get right into this then. So, like I said, unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of any cool graphics. Obviously, like I said, because that's a couple reasons. Number one, because I'm on PC now, there's a certain tool that I can use that saves a bunch of my time from making custom graphics. It's not perfect, but I will still make custom graphics for a lot of the games, because it doesn't obviously show what I want it to show, or I just want to make my own thing because I want to be different. So I'll do that still, but a lot of eventually when we get into power rankings, sadly we won't get to today because the tool doesn't show power rankings before week 1 for some reason, but that's okay. Well, I mean, it does, but I already simulated moved on to week 1 before I could see them, so that's my fault. But I didn't realize that, so now I know. Anyways, we'll see them next week in week 2. But yeah, so let's get right into this. So this is just the background. I just realized that there's nothing on here, but we'll eventually have our graphics shown on the background, like any of the game scores and all that. So we'll be doing that. Um, but yeah, you just see it's the background, like it's a world map, plus the logo of the league, which I custom made. Well, I mean, you can tell I custom made it, but I'm pretty proud of it. Um, it's slightly based off what the league used to be, or the NFL Relocated logo from last season, but modified obviously, so it's different, and hopefully won't be confused for any other league, I guess. Um, but yeah, so anyways, we're gonna move on to, let's see, what did I want to do? I'm not that prepared for this, and I really do apologize for that, but that's okay. Um, so I guess what we're gonna do is, like I said, we're gonna move on. Actually, what we're gonna do is we're gonna move on to the teams, like look through all the teams. There's a video that reveals every team, but we're gonna go into them more in depth, um, a little bit more in depth, anyways. Uh, and then hopefully not show you anything that I'm not supposed to show you, like, anything to do with like score. Like I said, I've already started recording some of the games, so I already know the results of them, but obviously I can't tell you guys that because that would ruin it. So I'm gonna try not to do that, but we'll see. Anyways, so yeah, let's go to the what is called the My Franchise tool, which I just need to make sure that this is right here. So let me go to Teams and the My Franchise tool. So here it is. In all its good glory. Yes, if there's a little black on the bottom, I apologize. I can't do a whole lot about that. I mean, I can move it up and down, but that's all right. It's not a full screen because the file itself doesn't go full screen for some reason, but that's the person who made it, not my fault. Anyway, so if you haven't watched the video yet, you can go watch the reveal. But this stream also talks about this. So we have, obviously, like I said, 32 teams, and the divisions are custom made too. They're customly named, but I can't figure out how to change the logo in here, so this is kind of what we're dealing with. I mean, actually, there probably is a way I can do it. I could probably change these two logos, these NFC and AFC logos. Obviously, you can see I put our actual league logo in the corner. You can't see my mouse, but that's all right. So yeah, that's what that is. But then, yeah, so let's continue on because I keep rambling for no reason. So for this season, we have we'll just go by division, and then we'll go obviously team just briefly. We'll click on each team, kind of like you can on NFL.com. That's what the style of this kind of is, or like Daddy Leagues, I guess. But anyway, so we'll start in the AFC, which not the AFC in this universe. It's the in this league, we have the Eastern Football Conference and the Western Football Conference. And yes, those are very original, I know, but it's because I realized that because of the amount of cities, that relocation cities that they added to Madden 24 from past Maddens, it is possible for you to make truly more of like kind of a Western and Eastern Conference like they have in the NBA. So I thought I wasn't necessarily going to do that at first, but I thought, well, it would be kind of cool if I did that because, I don't know, it's just something different. Not everybody does that. Or not many people I know have done that. So we'll do it this way. This is how I'm going to do it. But anyway, so yeah, so for the teams here, so we have starting in the Eastern Conference, Eastern Division, which is I nicknamed the Atlantic, and you'll see why in a second. We have the Dublin Shamrocks, the London Monarchs, the Montreal Snowhawks, and the Paris Black Knights. Originally, I was going to have two London teams, like I have in the past couple seasons, and how these two teams originally, like, that was the only option you can get in was London. But I thought, you know what, let's put the Black Knights not in London to make it more interesting. Plus, we could use Paris, because that's an option now. For some reason, no option in Germany. I'm not sure exactly why, but maybe that'll be in the next one. So you have the Paris Black Knights, London Monarchs, Snowhawks, Shamrocks. Cool. Then for the EFC North, the North Division, which I forget what this is named already. Or the nickname of this is already. But, excuse me. We have the Brooklyn Bulls, Columbus Caps, Canton Aviators, and Toronto Huskies. So, one Canadian team, and the rest are two Ohio teams, and the other one's in New York. So, which is totally fine. I actually kind of planned it out that way on purpose to have two Ohio teams, kind of like the actual AFC North does with the Browns and the Bengals. I just thought it'd be kind of fun. Plus, these were two teams that you could only get in Ohio, or sorry, in Ohio, only get in Columbus when you relocated there back in as early as last or as Madden 23. So again, I thought that was kind of cool. Um, then we got the EFC South division with the Houston Oilers, who are obviously no technically a real former NFL franchise, but it's a relocation option, so might as well use it. Um, then we got the Orlando Wizards, the San Juan Sentinels, Virginia Beach Voyager and the Virginia Beach Voyagers, excuse me. Um, and then we'll just move in this more faster so we can get this done sooner rather than later. The westernmost part of the East, if that makes any sense. Chicago Tigers, Louisville Thunderbirds, Memphis Steamers, and St. Louis Blues. So there is some little bit of significance behind these names and these mascots specifically if they aren't, like technically an original, like a former Madden relocation connection, like the London Monarchs. That was one option. Columbus, that was already a thing. But like the St. Louis Blues, Virginia Beach Voyagers, like why? Um, Mainly, okay, Virginia Beach Voyagers. I kind of was trying to think what places have space, like facilities, or like like one option I thought of was Orlando, which is why the Orbits, who we'll talk about in a little moment or a few moments, were there because they have the Kennedy Space Center down there. But since that area wasn't really an option, I mean, I could have done Miami, maybe, I don't know. Houston was another one. Obviously, that's where the Voyagers are originally from in this game. But I chose Virginia Beach because I think they have another space thing as well. So, plus it just rolls off the tongue nicely. Virginia Beach Voyagers. I don't know. It's just a V, a two V. I don't know. It's weird. Um, the Louisville Thunderbirds. Honestly, just randomly picked that city and name. It was originally Toronto for the Thunderbirds, but had to pick a different place because I didn't want the Huskies sharing its city, which is totally interesting, but okay. Probably could have shifted things around so the Huskies were not in Toronto, but it's fine. And then St. Louis Blues. So I would have done, if I could have done New Orleans Blues, I would have done that much better because the blues is kind of like, the music thing. Like places that are known for jazz and whatnot, which is why the blues are originally in Chicago. Because Chicago is kind of known for the blues. But also St. Louis and New Orleans are to a degree. So, that's why the Blues are in St. Louis. So, and then moving on to the other conference, the Western Football Conference, we have the Eastern Division of the Western Conference. The Albuquerque Armadillos, Austin Desperados, Oklahoma City Bisons, and Salt Lake City Pioneers. The Armadillos are the only ones that are not in their technical correct. You could consider it correct spot. I mean, spot they were in the past games. And that's just because I like Albuquerque with the Armadillos for some reason. So, plus it's A&A. I mean, it was already Austin, but oh well. And then we got the Western Division, or is it, no, not the Western, I got confused. The Northern Division of the Western Conference, and that's the Anchorage Antlers in Alaska, Portland Lumberjacks, Sacramento Condors, and Vancouver Mounties. I said that weird, Vancouver Mounties. Obviously, the Mounties were originally in Toronto, but I felt like Vancouver works better because, I don't know, it just seems like it'd be better for the Mounties. I mean, I've seen someone else, I think, make up a team called the Vancouver Mountaineers, so that's what I kind of got that from. I could have probably put the Lumberjacks in Vancouver because Vancouver, it's just the forest and all that stuff up there, and in Cascadia, that's what this division's nicknamed. Because it's that region of the North America. So, but there's that. And then we got the South Division of the West Conference, and that's the Honolulu Orbits, which that was very weird for me to choose, but all right. And then we got the Golden Eagles in Mexico City, the Rio de Janeiro Nighthawks, and the San Antonio Dreadnoughts. So the Dreadnoughts are right. The Golden Eagle are right. Dreadnoughts are in their original spot. Golden Eagles are in the original spot. Nighthawks and Orbits are moved. That's okay, because it's just to be different. Rio de Janeiro. Fun fact. I don't know why I thought of this just now. The Nighthawks and the Black Knights in this, they their locations are in spots that actually like teams, like the CPU teams, actually randomly relocated to in one of my franchises that I was playing at one point. So that's where I got the inspiration for it to move those teams to. Um, and then the orbits, I don't know where or why I chose that city, but I guess I could have chosen Omaha maybe, but that was I think the only other one I didn't use. So or maybe just have them share a city with somebody else. I don't know. Um, Again, I really dislike that they only limited us to 32 teams, literally. Um, and then we got the westernmost part of the Western Conference, the Pacific Division, which you'll see this why in a second. The Melbourne Riverhogs, the Oakland Redwoods, San Diego Elks, and the Tokyo Dragons. Tokyo Dragons, that's my... Actually, the Melbourne Riverhogs and Tokyo Dragons are tossed up between my two favorite teams that I created, just because of their location and their mascot combinations. Melbourne, for those of you that don't know, is in Australia, and then Tokyo is obviously in Japan. Oakland Redwoods, I kind of wanted to do that for a while. They were originally Sacramento, but I was like, Oakland's close enough to Sacramento, plus the Condors already have that. And then the San Diego Elks. Elks were originally Salt Lake City, but San Diego had no teams because it's all of its teams. Actually, that's a lie. The Dragons are originally from San Diego, but the other two teams I wanted to use, the Crusaders and the Aftershocks, are not in the game. So, for some reason, I don't know why, but I could probably put them back in the game if I wanted to through mods, but we'll deal with what we have now. So that's all the teams. Yeah, that's every single team. All 32. So that's a good overview of them at least. I'm trying to remember what else we need to do. So, I mean, we could easily like go, like you obviously, like I said, you can click each every single one of them, and this is what's cool about this mod is it tells you what each team, the division standings, the roster, the schedule, which I can't go into, finances, roster, statistics, depth chart, staff, all that stuff, team transactions, the top players, most expensive, upcoming free agents, all that sort of stuff. Injury report. So, and defense, offensive team leaders. It's kind of cool. And I just realized that I can't actually show you every single one of these teams because the standings are here, and it would if I show you the standings, it'll give away who's won and who's lost in week 1 already. So I cannot do that. So yeah, we're not going to do that. We're just going to stay on the screen. But yeah, so like I said, that's the teams. I'm trying to remember what exactly else we need to go through. Oh yeah, the power rankings and season predictions. Okay. Oh, and the schedule. I didn't put that on there, but actually we'll go through the schedule right now because we can do that. So and I don't have an official schedule graphic, and again, I can't show you the schedule on my franchise tool because I've already started recording the games. I mean, I technically actually could probably I could have probably like taken a screenshot of the schedule before I record the games. I might do that for week 2, just so I don't have to make a schedule graphic myself. But I might still do that. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, so let's go into the schedule here. So for the week 1 for the opening week, so starting tomorrow already, Thursday, the 20th of June, we have a live game, and what live game will be live streamed here on YouTube on this channel, and I will be I will be in right here commentating over the game the best I can. I'm probably not the greatest commentator in the world, but that's all right. We'll find out, or you guys will find out, I guess. So the first game we'll have is the Armadillos taking on the Monarchs, and not much I have to say about that game. Both teams, the Monarchs, and actually both of these teams have new identities, as opposed to their previous identities, which were teams that were removed from Madden 24 for no good reason, and that being the Bulldogs. The Monarchs were the Bulldogs, and then the Armadillos were the Gunners. So that would have been a really sick matchup to watch in week 1, especially with the history I know that in the past 2 seasons that you guys probably haven't seen because that channel no longer exists. Or the original channel no longer exists on YouTube. So, but I'm excited to see this matchup, see what happens. We got a couple of familiar faces. For sure one familiar face on one of the sides, the Monarchs. But yeah, so that's game one, or game on Thursday. And then we move on. So our next slot of games will be on Saturday instead of Sunday. It's summer, we can do that. Usually in an NFL season, the games will be on Sunday because Saturday would be college, but we're in the summertime again. Like I said, we can do that. There are games on Sunday, but they are only primetime games, or primetime. They're only live games. I'll say that right now. All right. Also, by the way, all the times you see on here are in Central Time, so adjust accordingly if you're watching from nowhere in the Central Time Zone in the U.S. Excuse me. So, and the rule I have with this is that, at least with this first week, we'd have 4 in each time slot for the games that will just premiere on YouTube. They'll be these are the pre-recorded ones. So as you see, a lot of them. So the first slot of games is our noon slot, 12 p.m. Central, and we have the Dragons at the Elks. The first a division matchup right out the gate. So the Dragons traveling from Tokyo to San Diego in the States. And then the next game is another division matchup between the Thunderbirds and the Tigers. Following that, or at the same time as that, we have the Capitals and the Oilers. And then following that, we have another division matchup in the same division as the Thunderbirds and Tigers, and that is the Blues at the Steamers. So those games will happen in the noon portion. The next slot will be the 3 p.m. I don't know why I put 3:25. Ignore it. It'll be 3, most likely. So next time slot, we'll have the Pioneers taking on the Desperados, which I believe is a new division matchup, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not going to open up a franchise tool, but I believe it's a new... Yes, it's a new division matchup. Okay. So Pioneers and Desperados, new division matchup. At least this season. And then the next one will be another division. So there's a lot of division matchups, you'll notice, in this first week. And most of the ones that are in the last week of the year are also going to be division matchups too. But anyways, so the next one in this 3 p.m. time slot is afternoon time slot is the Antlers at the Lumberjacks. Then we got the Golden Eagles at the Mounties, and the Voyagers and the Aviators. Then finishing off with our 5 p.m. late evening, or early evening, late afternoon, whatever you want to call it, time slot, we have the Condors at the Bisons, the Dreadnoughts at the Nighthawks, the Sentinels at the Snowhawks, and the Huskies at the Bulls, which that seems like it's in reverse, actually. I actually want to check something real quickly. I'm pretty sure that's reversed. Yep, that is reversed. Okay. So I don't know why I have it. Maybe I originally intended to have it like that, but I have it as the Huskies. I have it as the Bulls traveling to the Huskies, so that's actually reversed. So, which actually, how many of these are... Like, some of these... Hold on. Oh, you know what happened, I think? I think I know what happened. Yeah, so the Golden Eagles are hosting, so are the Huskies, Bisons, Nighthawks, Sentinels. Okay, so... So yeah, the Golden Eagles are hosting... Are Sentinels hosting? Yes, okay. So I messed up the order of the Sentinels and Snowhawks for some reason. Unless I... Hold on 1 second. Let me just quickly check something here. So, be hosting... I suppose they don't play them again at all. No, they don't. Okay. Is there any one of these as a division matchup? If not, that's fine. That's a division matchup. Sorry guys, I just gotta check something real quickly. Or no, that's not a division matchup anymore. No, never mind. I think what's good is that we're all these ones that are. Actually, that one might be a division matchup now, I think. Yes, that is a division matchup. Okay. Okay, so I have it. Okay, I have it right. Never mind. We're good. So I just have it in my thing wrong for some reason. But so yeah, so the Bulls are at the Huskies, the Snowhawks are at the Sentinels, and the Mounties are at the Golden Eagles. That's for sure what I have incorrect on here, but it's you get the gist. So 5 p.m. we have the Condors at the Bisons, Dreadnoughts at Nighthawks, or Snowhawks at Sentinels, and then Bulls at Huskies. That's on Saturday. Then on Sunday, our first of the 2 live games will be the Black Knights at the Shamrocks. That's another division game. And then the Redwoods at the Riverhawks, another division game. But that one will be the 7 p.m. game. And then Monday, we close out the week with the Wizards at the Orbits. So, there is that. In terms of other things, I think that majority might be it, actually. I guess we can go, again, I sadly would go over power rankings and kind of my reasoning behind what I chose, but I don't actually have power rankings made right now, and plus I'm going to use the franchise tools power rankings anyways from Madden, so that's what we're going to use at least for now until I decide I don't like it. But anyway, so we don't have power rankings right now, unfortunately. I really wish we did. I almost made a list before the stream, but I wasn't going off of anything except for like team ratings and which teams I thought deserve to be at the top and whatnot. So we'll see what Madden tells me after this week goes by, and we'll go from there. So anyways, but yeah, so I got some season predictions. So I just put this as a fun topic potentially that we could have. So in terms of what I could think of for certain predictions, so I guess I can go with my predictions for this week. Armadillos, Monarchs. In terms of who's going to win, I will take the home team more. Something I'll do is I'll probably take the home team more often than not, unless I think the team absolutely just cannot win. So I'll just take the Monarchs to win this one. Armadillos seem like they're a good team too on surface, on paper. Haven't seen them play yet, so we'll see what happens. Dragons at Elks. Ooh. You know what? Honestly, I can see the Dragons winning this one. I know they're on the road, but it's hard to say because we don't know what either team looks like for this year. So plus they have new identities from past 2 years. So excuse me. But yeah. So honestly, give me the Dragons, or actually no, give me the Elks. The next game, Thunderbirds at Tigers, and actually I just realized that that's also wrong too. The Tigers actually travel to the Thunderbirds, so actually let me real quickly make sure that that one is also correct as well, because I don't want it to be wrong. But let's find out here. So Thunderbirds at Tigers. Okay, yeah. So I do have it right. Okay, cool. Alrighty. Yeah. So I'll go with the Tigers for this one because why not? I feel like they're a better team. They actually have a actual real life NFL quarterback, but in this universe, the NFL did not he got drafted, but then the NFL failed after like his rookie year. So there you go. And he went to the CFL. That's the one I can tell you in my universe here. The NFL kind of had a downfall. That's the whole purpose. Try and make something realistic instead of it just automatically just changing overnight. Then the next game, sorry, that's that game. So Tigers, they can win by. I'm not gonna give them by win by. I just say Tigers. Capitals at Oilers. You know what? Honestly, I like the Capitals in this one. I mean, the Capitals have traditionally. The other sad thing to mention, I probably should mention this too, is that last season, like I said, we had 2 files. One for the EFC, one for the WFC. Sadly, the EFC file, even though it was offline, mind you, got corrupted after week 2. So we only rocked with the WFC file for the rest, for the entire time the season was going until the channel got taken down. On a whole other story. But so the Capitals didn't see much of them play. I think they went 1-1, I believe, in the season number 2. But in season 1, they were easily one of the worst teams in the league. Now, part of that was my fault because when I created the team, I didn't realize that their settings were on manual. So the league over time, because, I fast forward this until I get to the right year I want, because, it's supposed to be taking place in the distant future, technically, in the game, even though it really doesn't matter because I'm doing it right now in 2024. Anyways, regardless. So, yeah, their team was kind of overall lower than everybody else to begin with, so that's partially my fault. But, yeah. But I think based on what the Capitals have on paper, which you haven't seen obviously, but I think they'll probably win this game, even though they're on the road. The Oilers are also rocking with a current NFL quarterback, but real life quarterback, basically a real life person, not a fictional person. So yeah, give me the Capitals or the Caps. Then we got the 12 p.m. game, or the last noon game, Blues at Steamers. Give me the Steamers. And the Steamers are hosting. Okay, that's right. Next, we'll have the 3 p.m. time slot with the Pioneers and Desperados. Who do I think is going to win this one? Give me the Pioneers, because, I don't know, I just have to pick a team. I think they're a better team overall. I don't know if that's true or not, but we'll find out. And then the next game, Antlers at Lumberjacks. I'm going to go with the Lumberjacks because I can take the home team. I've been taking the away team twice in a row. I'll pick the home team this time. I know it sounds silly, but until I see the team actually play, until we see the teams actually play, I won't really know. Golden Eagles at Mounties. I'll take the Mounties. And fun fact, Mounties actually have Joe Burrow. So that's one of the... because here's the thing. This league is, there's a storyline behind it and whatnot. So the story is that some of these quarterbacks that are technically real life NFL quarterbacks have come back to this new league to play their last couple of years of eligibility, that they feel like playing professional football, even though they're in their late 30s. Joe Burrow is one of them. Other ones include Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, C.J. Stroud, and Anthony Richardson. Oh, also Jordan Love and Bryce Young, I believe. Yeah. So that's fun to look forward to, right? There's also other NFL players as well, but those are the quarterbacks that I can name off the top of my head. Anyway, so we have the Voyager. Next game on the Voyagers is the Aviators. I'll take the Aviators. Just picking the home team. Condors or Bisons. I'll pick a switcheroo here. Take the Condors because the Bisons, I'm not saying they're bad, but we'll just have to see. I'll pick the Condors just to be different. Dreadnoughts, Nighthawks. Give me the Dreadnoughts. Sentinels or Snowhawks at Sentinels. Give me the Sentinels because they're home. Well, I don't know. Just picking the Sentinels. I realize now that what I'm doing is really whatever. Bulls at Huskies. Let's go with Huskies because I feel like it. Then, moving on to Sunday, we have the Black Knights and Shamrocks. I'm going to pick the Shamrocks. I know they're at home, so they're already favored, but I'll take them. I'm not a betting man, but I'll take it. If I had to bet on a team, I'd bet on them. Redwoods at Riverhogs. Give me the Riverhogs. The Redwoods have traditionally, in the last 2 seasons at least, that you guys unfortunately will probably never see, we're not the greatest team in the world, so I'd be very curious to see how they do. But yeah, so Riverhogs, I'll go with them. And then Monday Night Football, whatever you want to call it, Wizards at Orbits. I'll take the Wizards. Actually, the other quarterback I forgot, Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is on the Wizards, so picking the Wizards for that reason. So yeah, that is my game picks. You guys can let me know what your game picks are in the comments, or if any of you are watching the stream, you can let me know there. But yeah, so that is probably... I realize we've only been doing this for about 40 minutes, but I don't really have a whole lot else to talk to you guys about. Plus, nobody is currently watching it, so yeah, not a whole lot to talk about. Just kind of a good overview. You guys can go back and watch this if you want. But yeah, so hopefully this will be a fun league. Hopefully we'll actually be able to finish it this time, because the first season, you guys, obviously this channel doesn't exist, so you don't know, but the first season, I cut it short after 8 weeks because school was starting. The second season, last season, the channel got taken down. So hopefully now we're going to finish, because I made the schedule shorter, we're going to try and finish this, see how it goes, and yeah, like I don't plan on quitting on it in the middle of it, because that would be stupid. So yeah, let's go for it. And yeah, hope you all enjoy, and hope you look forward to the game starting tomorrow night. So, but other than that, that's all I gotta say. So thank you guys so much for coming out. If you did, or if you just watching this back after it's already live, or after it was already live, then I hope to see you in the next stream. So see you guys later. Have a good night. Peace.